Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Stress Reset. I am your host, James Crater, and today we're on location. We're obviously not in my studio, so I'm going to pre-apologize for any noise you might hear. In fact, I'm going to show you a glimpse of where I'm at. And let's take some guesses. If you are familiar with this city, you're going to immediately know. Okay. Okay, so guesses. Okay, welcome to Stress. There you go, San Diego, Coronado Bridge. I'm over on Coronado. Stress reset. Today I want to focus on grounding ourselves in the stress experience. I know, tell them what you're doing there. Oh, it's my birthday. Tomorrow is, Alicia said, tell them what you're doing there. Tomorrow is my birthday. So this is our first trip in, well, since the whole shutdown thing. Thank you. Thank you for the happy birthday, fellow Gemini. Thank you so much. So yes, my husband and I came and we're both working today. So he's inside on meetings and I'm here with you. And as soon as we're done here, our vacation starts. So I'm super happy to be here with you all today. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. Grounding ourselves in the stress experience. So often we think of stress work as, where do you normally live? I normally live in Sacramento, so I'm up in Sacktown. Normally we think of stress work as becoming resistant to stress. Like if I do these things, then stress won't affect me. And I'll let you know if I ever get there, because certainly that has not been the case for me. I'm a human being. I still experience stress. I still experience anxiety. I still experience tension and trauma and all of the normal human-y experiences. But doing what we have been doing, birds, doing what we have been doing together over the last few weeks. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Hopefully that does not happen again. So today we're going to be thinking of our work as grounding ourselves in the stress experience. And what I mean by that is, how do I stay rooted even when I feel stressed? So let's start off with a little breathing, some of our nervous system warm-ups, and then we're going to explore some of the tension and trauma release exercises that we have not yet explored. So let's go ahead and get to it. I want you to think of, if you are familiar with these classes, one of your favorite breathing techniques that you've learned, and I'm giving you an opportunity for you to practice that. I'm going to be explaining one of my favorites. Do not do this one unless this one is your favorite. I'm just here giving other people an opportunity to learn something if this is their first class. So go ahead and do, it could be 478, it could be physiologic sigh, it could be box breathing, it could be hand breathing, it could be listening for breath, any of those. If you are new and you need some guidance here, let's go ahead and do what's called physiologic sighing. It's 2 quick inhales, long, slow exhalation. Inhale, inhale, long, slow exhalation. Everyone's going to be doing their own thing. I'm going to be going through 5 reps of physiologic sigh. So everyone together, nice deep inhale. Exhale. And do your favorite breathing exercise that makes you feel good. If you're following me, it's inhale, inhale. 3 more. You can continue to breathe, or when you feel ready, rub your hands together, get them warmed up. We're going to bring them onto the front of our throat and just be here. Just letting the warmth do its job. My head is just resting on my hands. And as I've said the last couple of weeks, my new way of understanding this exercise, so if you're new to this, just doing this is really, really good. I'm now thinking, as I do this, does my head feel And I'll kind of show you from the side. Does my head feel like it's in front of the weight, behind, or weighted in front of my hands, weighted behind my hands, or aligned, being supported, stacked on top of my hands? And can I feel like the warmth, my body is supporting the total weight of my head? When I do that, I feel my chest open a little bit. Maybe yours is different. Play around with it. From there, right hand goes onto left throat. Big, heavy hand drags towards the middle. Other side, big, heavy hand drags. One more over here. And then some of these guys, just a little jaw massage. Jaw massage can become face taps, chest taps, could become an arm stroke if that's what feels good to you. Again, if you're familiar with some of these nervous system warm-ups, do your favorites. If you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, James, go and check out some of the previous videos we have. We are in the process of building out a whole YouTube page, but in the meantime, you can always ask us and we'll send them to you. Then pick up your hands, do a little shake. It can go up, it can go down. You can shake your whole body. Then take a nice deep inhale. Let out a sigh. Like you've been holding in stress and tension, and just maybe a sigh becomes a hum. Again. You can do an open mouth hum. Or just breathe. Now, if you feel like you need more of those nervous system warm-ups, go ahead and just stick with those. You can go into your orientation work. You can do any of the things we've been covering if that's what your body feels like it needs. Today, we're going to be exploring, like I mentioned, literally the sensation of grounding ourselves during a stressful experience. So this is a concept we need to sort of understand. We've played with, but we're going to get really explicit about it. What I want you to do is take your hands and I want you to squeeze your fists really tight, like you're going to punch something or you're trying to hold on for dear life to something, and then actively release, relax, and open your hands. Again, squeeze really tight, release, relax, and open. And now I want you to notice how that feels. You might want to open your eyes, you might want to close your eyes, but just as you squeeze your hands, notice the tension, notice the stress, notice what you feel. And then as you open your hands, what do you feel? Then this sometimes works better for people. We'll go here. I want you to notice this hand over here. So I'm going to squeeze tight, 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 tight. And then I'm going to just let my hand stay open. I'm just going to notice, in fact, I'm going to put it down on my hand here, on my leg here. I want you to just look at your fingers and notice how long they are. Can you allow your palm to get wider, the fingers to get longer? Squeeze, contract. And then just let them open. Squeeze, contract. Let it all get open. Same can be true of the elbow joint. When we get stressed, we tend to contract things. So contraction or a narrowing of the joint here, or opening up, and just kind of notice how open that joint is. I am in the habit when I sleep, because I'm naturally a side sleeper and typically I'll kind of do this with my hand, that I'm now in the habit of really keeping my palms and hands open to the best of my ability as I'm trying to go to sleep. It's a nervous system tool to tell your body it's time to relax, release, and let go of things. Relax, release, let go. So, how is that going to apply today? Go ahead and stand up wherever you are at. I'm going to start off here. So you're gonna stand up wherever you are at, and you're just gonna feel your feet on the floor, wherever you're at. And then we're just going to side sway over to one side and let both feet lift, rotate, move to that side. So I'm currently moving to the right, and then I'll go over to the left. And I go right, and I go left. I go right, and I go left. Now here's the trick. When I'm over here on the side, I can feel that my feet are tight, tense, and holding me here. As I go back, it's like I let them relax, release, sink into the floor, and then I go to the other side. It's the same as if I squeeze and release, squeeze and release. So there's a squeezing, pushing, grounding, release, sink, widen, soften your feet. Over here, soften your feet. Over here, soften your feet. And it's like orienting your feet to the floor, sort of how we do orientation with the eyes and the sound and the sensations in the room. We're now doing that through our feet. Good. Then I want you to turn to face a wall. Here, I'm putting my hands on a wall. I'll show you in a bit, but just trust that my hands are on a firm surface. I'm going to choose to put my left leg backwards and my right foot forward. I'm going to lift my back heel just so that I remember to keep my weight forward on my front leg. This is like a kickstand leg. If it helps you to have it up, go ahead and put it up. If you want it down, go ahead and put it down. I'll demo it both ways. But we're going to use our calf muscle to lift up to a tiptoe, and I want you to squeeze your calf muscle and then back down. Again, there's an up and a squeeze and a back down. Up and a squeeze and a back down. Now, for most of you, for a lot of you, that will be the practice. For the rest of you, I want you to go up into that tiptoe and squeeze your calf muscle until, from level 1 being nothing to level 10 being unbearable, you're at about a level 7. So once you're at a 7, again, we're going to lift up and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that standing calf muscle. When I've reached a 7 and I'm like, yep, don't want to be here anymore, I come down and I just wiggle that leg. So I'm up and I'm squeezing. This is like squeezing my fist. And then I come down and I wiggle, 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 relax. And then just take an inventory between how the two legs feel. We've already worked through the feet a bit, but now we've created tension in the calf and we've released tension in the calf. And for me, it feels very different. I feel like I have a more complete full leg experience on that side. Then I come over to this leg. I can kickstand or I can lift, and I'm up. I may just want to do lift and lowers, or I may want to come up, squeeze, 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 squeeze that calf until I'm at a 7 out of 10. That's for you to decide. I don't know when you're at a 7. Once I'm done, I come back down. I can wiggle, 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 wiggle. And release. From there, and I'll kind of show this at a diagonal. We're going to shift our hip weight forward so much that it forces my heels to come up a bit, and then shift my hip weight back until my toes lift. So it's just a shift forward and a shift back. Shift forward and a shift back. Shift forward and a shift back. Again, most of these exercises are inspired by TRE, tension and trauma release exercises. These are the standing work. This comes from that same thing that we do with the hips, the bridging work. And just ground yourself for a moment. And I want you to notice what you notice. Now, if I were to give words to that experience, what I notice in my own body is that my feet feel a little bit longer, they feel a little bit wider, and I feel a little more grounded. I feel a little more sturdy in my feet. And what often happens in a stress fever or stress reflex is that I disembody. I go up into my head and I worry and I perseverate and I do all those expectations versus reality storytelling things. Instead, what I'm doing with this exercise is reminding myself that I have feet. Reminding myself to not hold tension down in the feet, down in the ankles, down in the calves. Now, from there, let's get a good, I think I'll bring you up here now. From there, create a little space here. We are going to take and put our left foot forward, right foot back. My working leg is that front leg. So back heel is gonna lift and I go down and do like a little squat or a little lunge and I come back up. I'm down for like a little lunge and I'm back up. Now here's what your body's probably gonna wanna do with this. Kind of move out of that, or how do I shift full hip weight forward and into the front working hip? Sometimes it's really helpful to have that hand on the butt cheek, and we're down, and we're up, down, and we're up, down, and we're up. Again, it's that same idea of a blatant contraction and a release, a blatant contraction and a release. Or I could just be down here, contract, 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 until I'm at a 7 out of 10. I don't know when you're at a 7. That's for you to decide. Once I'm at that 7, I'm up and I do a little leg shake and I just sort of notice whatever it is that I notice. For me, it now feels like that feeling I had of I have feet, I have calves, I have ankles, now goes all the way up that leg. So let's give it a try on the other side. Other leg comes forward. And again, I can go down and up, down and up. Now, so many of these feel like, oh, these are exercises, James, like I'm in an exercise class, but I want you to think of how to incorporate it into your life. How easy would it be if you felt stressed to just go to the restroom and just lock yourself in there for a moment and do these? Think about the foot thing. I could be washing dishes, washing my hands, doing that. So easy to sort of incorporate into your life. I've got a big meeting to do. I'm gonna do a presentation. I'm gonna get in front of people. How do I feel grounded? I just go down in here, 7 out of 10. And then I'm up. A little shake off the stress, take a little walk around your space. Notice how and what you feel. Now, there is a dreaded exercise at the gym that all of us know and all of us hate. It's not fun. Today, we're going to create a new relationship with that very classic exercise. What it is a wall squat. And often wall squats are taught as sort of this horrible endurance burning thing. And I want us to sort of understand it in a new way, in the way of I'm squeezing tension, and then I'm choosing to let go of that tension. And here's how we're going to do it. You need a wall of some sort. So I'm going to use the wall behind me here. And I'm going to go down, open up my legs. I'm going to go down, not into a super deep squat, just about where my hips are a few inches above my knees. Now, you're going to hold this until you are a 7 out of 10. That may be a long time for some of you. For most of us, that's not a long time because this exercise, this stance is not fun. So we're just going to be here. For me, I would already qualify this as a 7 out of 10. So I come up 1 inch and I'm here until this becomes a 7 out of 10. Nice inhales, relaxing exhale. You can go into some of your nervous system toning work. When that becomes a 7 out of 10, up another inch. Waiting for your 7 out of 10. And then go ahead and stand all the way up. From there, put your hands on your legs. Let your head drop. And you may just be here today. You may be here today, or you may want to let it all drop. Once you are forward in the, once you're forward and you are in a hamstring stretch, you're gonna hang out there. You're gonna hang out there until you feel your legs shake, vibrate, tremor, and the way they do in the rest of the TRE exercises. So that may look like this. It may look like this for some of you. It may be this for some of you. But you're just gonna hang out there. Request, allow, yield to shaking, tremoring, vibrating within the legs. So you are actively looking for the tremor and the shake. Now, you can keep hanging out there. I'm just going to, my legs aren't quite there yet, but I'm gonna demo what it might look like. So there's a shake. In order to get out of that, I drop my butt, I put my hands on my legs, and I push up to a standing, and I kind of shake. Now, if it were me, I would hang out there longer. My legs are now naturally wanting to shake and vibrate. And then I can go ahead and stand all the way up. Start to take a walk around your space, wherever your space is. Notice what you notice. As the military helicopter goes overhead. And then go back to your original spot. Maybe it was sitting, maybe it was standing, lying down, wherever you are. And just do a little check-in. How do I feel now that I've actively created that experience for myself, that I've actively contracted and released? Contracted and released. Give it a few words, check in. And then go back to squeezing your hands. This time take your shoulders up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release. And then squeeze, 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 squeeze. And release. And squeeze, 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 squeeze. Release. Pull your shoulders up into your ears. Let them drop. And just notice the distance. Notice what that feels like. Good. We're having a helicopter land right over here. You can't predict. You can't predict. Good. From there, go ahead and close your eyes or keep them open. It's up to you. Feel your lungs and your heart contract. And then allow that to sort of open. Imagine your lungs and your heart contracting, and then allow that to open back up. There's an internal contraction and a yielding, an opening, a widening. Now, try the same thing down in your gut. Imagine your belly, your stomach, your intestines, your full gut contracting, expanding, relaxing, yielding, back open. Squeezing, contracting, expanding, relaxing, back open. Squeezing, contracting, expanding, back open. Then I want you to just pay attention. You might be standing, you might be sitting, you might be lying down. I don't know where you're at. And I want you to just be in your brain for a moment. Not a visualization, but imagine you are inside of your brain, looking forward at the backside of your eyebrows. I'm inside of my own head, looking forward. And as you do that, allow the eyebrows to yield, to melt, and get wide. Feel your eyeballs soften and sink into the back of their sockets. Feel how that softens the nose, the sinuses, makes you more aware of the roof of your mouth. For a moment, as you are inside of your own head, look through the left ear canal as if you are looking out of your ear at the light outside of you. And allow that to dilate open and get wider. Notice how that softens the left jaw a bit. Pay attention to anything else you feel. Maybe you're more aware of your teeth, your hearing, your breathing. Then try the same thing over on the right. Imagine you are inside of your brain, inside of your own head, looking out of the right ear canal. Let it get wider. Let it dilate open. Noticing anything in the jaw, in the teeth, in your experience. Then notice the bottom jaw, the horseshoe shape of that bottom jaw, the shape of your own tongue. Notice your neck and throat, the circumference, how wide your neck and throat are. And for a moment, can you allow the weight of your head, the weight of your jaw, the weight of your ears, the weight of your brain, the weight of your eyes to rest down onto your wide, supportive neck. Not in front of, not behind, just resting down. Can you notice that and also your feet? Can you notice and stay with whatever you're feeling up in the head, neck, and shoulders, and notice whatever you're sitting on, how it is you're sitting, how it is you're lying. Can you notice all of that in the space in between your head and what you're standing, sitting, lying down on? Maybe the trunk of the body. Can you allow your heart to be open? Can you allow the gut to be wide and released and relaxed? so that you feel how it is you're grounded, standing, sitting, how you notice that. And also a softening, a widening, a releasing in the head. Can you notice all of that at the same time? And if not, no worries. Just kind of smile and go, no, no, I can't right now. And just note in your own mind, in your own body, where do you need to go back and work a little more at? Where is your body still inclined to hold onto? Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let out a sigh or a hum, maybe a laugh. Tell yourself thank you for the day. You guys did a really good job. Thank you so much for sticking with this. We really appreciate it from here in overcast, but really beautiful San Diego. Thank you guys.
Yes. And thank you, James, for teaching while on vacation, because we know if you had to take the day off, then I would have taught, and I just don't think I could do stress reset any justice. I'm still learning from you how to do this. So thank you so much for making this a priority on your trip. I really appreciate that. Yes. And with that, we have something special for you for your birthday tomorrow. So DJ Raymond, are you ready?
Yep, and this is from my main man, Stevie Wonder himself. You're
not on mute?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can.
Oh, I was gonna say, this is from my main man, Stevie Wonder himself. So, just how much we love you, and I'm and to have a world party on the day you gave me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Best rendition of Happy Birthday ever. Leave it to Stevie Wonder to make Happy Birthday a much better song.
Well, I'm only legally allowed to play that much, so.
Okay, well, hey, we got a little bit out. Don't tell on us. You know, those helicopters are going to swoop down and take us in, so.
It was the fire department. It's like, I don't know what's going on over there, but there's an emergency over there, apparently.
There's something.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all very much for joining us this week. And again, James, for joining us on your birthday weekend. Have a great weekend. Everybody stay cool, drink your water. It is so hot up here. James, you escaped that. That's great. Yeah. And then next week is our final week of this block. So I'm sure it's going to be a great week of classes. I'm really excited for them. And of course, you can always head over to our website to get the links to the classes that have already happened. So I'll write that in here one more time. And with that, I guess we'll let you go start your party. And James?
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Well, one quick, really funny story. So my best friend, we were having dinner 6 weeks ago or whatever, and she's like, oh, we're thinking of going to San Diego in sometime in the middle of June. And I said, well, we're planning a trip too. So we sort of had planned to have these intersecting trips. And she thought she was staying over at a different hotel. And so this morning, and I don't know if you can see them, but there are flamingos down in this pond right over here. So I'm out looking at the pond and I hear the slider next to me open up and I look over and it's her husband. And I'm like, what is going on? And he looks at me and he goes, what? We are staying in the same, right next to each other and this is a humongous hotel. Out of all the places, all of the rooms, my best friend is literally right next door to me.
That's really cool. So you guys are gonna have to go do something together.
Oh yeah. So. Yep. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye, James.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Raymond. Thank you.